For this video, we'll be going over the studio and live production category. Here you'll be looking at 3-minute video excerpts that are a small piece of a complete studio or remote production. The first grade that you'll provide focuses on the efforts of the production to fit within a cohesive format. Whether it's news, a talk show, a sports variety show, a sporting event coverage, a music show, or any other live or studio event, the show should exhibit a cohesive format that presents the viewer with a clear understanding of the presentation. Look for evidence that writing and pre-production planning has taken place. Things like a pre-interview meeting can show themselves through a smooth and prepared interaction on screen. Basically, use this first grade to evaluate the efforts put into the pre-production planning. Next, you'll look at the submission based on the appearance of a coordination of efforts made by a student crew. Every great production has a crew behind the scenes making everything work. For this score, we're looking at how clean the transitions are, how complex the production is, how many different elements work together in harmony, and the overall tightness of cuts and cues made by the student crew. For instance, if you notice evidence of graphics, script, roll-ins, audio scores, remote live shots, and instant replays, then consider that in order for all of these elements to work, there's a large crew working together behind the scenes like a fine-tuned machine. For the technical grade, you'll look at specific technical attributes of studio and remote production. Details like camera angle choice, microphone choice, audio levels and transitions, set design and placement, lighting in a studio environment, and in remote production cases, we'll look for the aspects of setup complexities. Last but not least is the presentation grade, and here you'll be looking at the performances and talent that are the face of the production. For shows that have hosts conducting an interview, we're looking at how comfortable their guest is, how well the host reciprocates and continues conversation, and how interesting their conversation is. For news, sports, and other studio productions, we're looking at how well prepared the presenter is and how clear the presenter delivers information. The next two parts of the judging form provide grades for the subcategories, Best Editing and Best Videography. For each of these two subcategories, there are 3 points that you can base a grade upon. If you've already judged another category, then the following subcategories are the same throughout, so feel free to skip over the rest of this video and begin judging the student entries. The first measure you'll look at in judging the videography of the piece is how the camera operator showed skill amongst the technical aspects of camera use. For judging technical aspects of videography, we look at the student's ability to properly operate the camera and the awareness of the proper settings of the camera. The ideal entry will be properly white balanced, properly framed, sharply focused, and correctly exposed. The correct use of a tripod, the use of lights when available light is low, and the proper use of microphones should be considered as well. The judging grades will be on a scale of 1 to 10, just as it was in the last sections. A grade of 1 is the lowest and 10 is the highest. Next, you'll look at how the videography in the piece enhanced the overall quality of the student production. When judging the artistic merit of the videography, we want to see students use videography as a storytelling tool. Consider the use of close-ups, cutaways, and B-roll shots in a way that enhances effectiveness of the piece. Lastly, we'll grade how well the videographer used innovative composition in a creative and artistic approach. A high score in this measure would be the product of an outside-the-box approach to video composition and will exhibit innovation in the approach to capturing a subject matter. Consider camera angles, how the subject is portrayed, and how these elements contribute to a cohesive theme, and make a grade based on that. The third and last area of judging looks at the editing of the piece. The entry that receives the highest score here will win the Best Editing Award. You'll first make a judgment on the technical aspects of the editing in the piece. The highest score should be given to entries that exhibit good technical ability in the editing of the piece. This means that there will be no jump cuts, the audio will transition smoothly and be evenly set throughout the piece, music will be mixed well and never overpower any of the voices in the foreground, and there are no unpleasant gaps or breaks within the piece. A big consideration of a skilled editor is always continuity. So for the second measure, we ask that you take a look at how well the student showed awareness of sequencing edits that carry the viewer through the cohesive story. Lastly, the third measure of judging for the best editing category is its overall artistic aspects. Judging artistic merit of the piece will look more at the pace and feel of how the entry was edited. The higher score will be given to pieces that take us through the story with seamless transitions and pace the edits considering the emotional state of the viewer. For instance, if an action sequence seems meandering, then perhaps the student failed to pace the edits properly in that scene. That's all of the judging criteria that you will be putting in for each entry. Now, one thing to remember is that by giving a score of 10, you're stating that the video entry exhibits elements that you would consider to be the winning entry. So be sure to save your perfect scores for the videos that you feel should win. And just as a side note, to those that are unable to complete the survey in one sitting, you should know that in some cases, you can pick up where you left off. So as long as you don't quit your web browser or shut down your computer in the middle of the judging form, you should be able to get back to your spot. In fact, I've received reports saying that even after shutting down the browser, some judges were able to go to the survey via their history menu and get back to where they left off. So thanks again for your time and commitment to judging the Merrimack Valley Film Festival. We can't do this without you, and your efforts contribute to a wonderful experience for the high school students within the Valley. Enjoy the judging, and feel free to get in touch with me if you have any questions or issues. Also, if you'd like to judge another category or more categories, let me know and I'll send it right along through an email.